What up? It's Kev Lou, Fantasy Facts Machine. I'm here with the Truth Factory, George Fuchs, and we are going to be giving you our first episode of Stash or Trash. We're going to review 12 players who are on the brink of being on your team, and we'll let you know what we think about them. You ready to do this?
Let's go.
All right, first player up, Zack Moss, running back, Buffalo Bills.
It's going to be a stash for me. Guy averaged over 4 yards a carry, had 5 total touchdowns last year. I expect him to get a ton of Singletary's touches this year. That Buffalo offense is growing. Consistency there, continuity there. Zack Moss, if he's my running back too to start the season, I feel pretty good.
Yeah, he's not a super talented guy. I'm going to trash him because I think that Josh Allen is just taking too many of those rushing touchdowns away. He's sharing carries with Devin Singletary, and they've got a lot of weapons on offense. I don't know how much yardage he's going to get. I don't know how many touchdowns he's going to get. It's too uncertain for me.
I was just going to offer that Cole Beasley and Gabriel Davis both on the COVID list today.
Yeah, Cole Beasley might be on the COVID list
for a little bit
for the rest of his career. All right, next player, Kendrick Bourne, wide receiver, New England Patriots.
Probably the quickest response I'm going to give you, trash. I don't trust the Patriots wide receiver since Randy Moss and God knows when.
Me neither. Trash, talented guy, but who knows what's going to happen on that offense. Next player, Michael Carter, running back, Jets, rookie.
Man, this one was close. I'm just too worried about the competition that he has to face. There's 4 running backs that could potentially get touches right now. He's looked great in the preseason, which is good. He's a bowling ball. They took him, early-ish in the draft. They want him to play, but it's really close. But I'm gonna go with trash for now.
I'm gonna go with trash too. If your name's not Jamison Crowder and you're on the Jets offense, I am not taking you. Next player, Gus Edwards, running back, Ravens.
So I'm incredibly high on J.K. Dobbins this year. Wildly high. Like reaching for him probably a little too high. That being said, Gus Edwards, a handcuff. Trash for me.
Okay. He's not a bad handcuff, though.
Not at all.
All right, I'm going trash as well. Same reason as Zack Moss. I think Lamar Jackson's going to get so many rushing touchdowns on their offense. So it's just hard to know what that output's going to be. Next player, Rashod Bateman, wide receiver, same Ravens.
Man, this one hurts a little bit because it's a Minnesota University product. It's a big physical guy, struggling with some injuries out of training camp already. He could be their one at some point or another, but that offense, I'm just not sure that there's just going to be enough touches for him to value him. If you get him really, really, really late, stash him. Outside of that, it hurts me to say it, but it's a trash for me.
Yeah, I'm going to say trash too. That's one of the only offenses in the NFL that can seriously put under 100 yards passing in a game and still win. So
it's going to be shocking to see it this year, but it could.
Yeah, it could happen. So I'm just going to stay away from their wide receivers. Next player, Jamar Chase, wide receiver, Bengals.
This one seems pretty cut and dry to me. I mean, you're taking the guy 5th overall. I know he's looked awful. He's dropping the ball. He's not running the correct routes. They're, giving out headlines that we're still confident in him. I'm not too worried about him. He had a year off of football. Kid's an absolute stud. He was the Biletnikoff Award winner. Him and Burrow have chemistry that will find itself again. Easy stash for me.
I'm going to go trash here. He just hasn't shown me enough in camp. Buddy of mine, Mike Williams, took a year off at USC, came back. It took him a couple years to get back to playing for him, so I'm going to lay off this year. Next player, Michael Pittman, wide receiver, another USC wide receiver.
And, man, I'm afraid to say this right now, but I was so high on him going towards the end of last year and coming into this year right now.
Same guy. It's the same guy.
So much uncertainty right now with Mike Pittman. Not because of him particularly, with Wentz, with the offensive line, with who knows what the hell is going to happen. It's a painful trash for me, but it's close.
Yeah, no, I'm going stash here. I think he's going to take over the number 1 spot from T.Y. Hilton. That's my uncertainty on the team. As long as Wentz can get healthy, he's going to be throwing at Pittman, so I am stashing him. Next player, Tim Patrick, wide receiver, Denver Broncos.
So I went back and forth on this one today. It was kind of an interesting one because initially this was going to be a trash play for me, but then thinking more about it and a little help from my friend Dan kind of explained it to me a little better. Tim Patrick is a huge upside guy who's their 3rd wide receiver, so he's perfectly a handcuff. He's got huge upside. He's the exact kind of stash guy that you want. I'm stashing him.
Okay, I'm stashing him too. Last year, he saved me a couple of weeks. I picked him up as a streaming option on my bye week, and he came through for me, so I know he can produce. Next player is Javonte Williams, running back, Denver Broncos.
Man, a lot of rookies in this one. Javonte Williams is a pretty easy stash for me. I'd be very, very happy getting him in the middle rounds. I think he's going to get a ton of usage early. I think the Broncos are going to surprise some people this year. He's going to get a lot of catches out of the backfield. I have no confidence in Melvin Gordon whatsoever. Javonte Williams is a stash for me.
Yeah, I'm going to trash. I don't doubt with everything you said. I just don't have any confidence in keeping him on my team. They've got 3 running backs with Freeman kind of in the mix in the preseason. So it's just too hard for me to know what's going on with Williams. He hasn't killed it in the preseason. So I'm going to trash him here. Next player, Henry Ruggs III, your Las Vegas Raiders.
Our Las Vegas Raiders, man. Ruggs is such a speedster. He's got so much potential, but I just don't trust him getting enough touches in that offense, considering how much they want to use Bryan Edwards this year, considering how much Hunter Renfrow is going to be catching the ball out of the slot, and it's David Waller's offense. Ruggs, if you get him at the very, very, very end of your draft, you hope, you pray, but for me, unfortunately, it's going to be a trash.
Yeah, I'm gonna stash him here. You know, we're in Vegas, baby. Things are changing. Times are progressing, and hopefully with that is Ruggs gonna get some deep balls. I know you're big on Edwards, but Ruggs is an incredibly talented guy. You know, I took him high last year. I'm not going to take him high this year, but I am going to stash him on my team. Next player, Michael Gallup, Dallas Cowboys, wide receiver.
I'm going to give you the Tim Patrick speech all over again. It's exactly the same situation for me. You have a guy who's got a decent amount of upside. That offense could be absolutely huge, and he is their 3rd wide receiver. You know, Amari's already been dealing with some injuries in training camp. I think CD has a huge year. You have Gallup, you keep him, and you take him.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. I'm going to trash him just because I'm a little concerned about Dak's shoulder. Been keeping up with Hard Knocks, and I know Dak is going to come balling out at some point in the season, but right now it's just too early for me to take Gallup on my team. So there is our first episode of Stash or Trash, Trash or Stash. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe. This is Fantasy Facts Machine. I'm here with the Truth Factory, George Fuchs. I am Kev. Let's get lucky, Lou. See you. Peace.
Set up my squad, wake up and pray. Turn on the tube, don't believe what they say. Get out my way, I got sleepers to play. Shooting my shot and I seen who you waved. You waving the flag, I'm just chasing the bag. All my team special, we taking it back. Doing our dance while you blaming the draft. I'm a machine, just stating the facts. I'm a machine, just stating the facts. I'm a machine, just stating the facts. I'm a machine, just stating the facts.